Hey ladies, this is Mocha Mommy here bringing you another video, and I'm bringing you this one because it's like a sports analogy. It's going to be about value and value systems. So get yourself a glass of water and I hope that you can follow along. Now, this is no shade to any content or content creator. What I'm doing is I'm just using these particular individuals as an example to illustrate a point, okay? All of these men that I will show are accomplished in their own right, but I'm just trying to illustrate an example of what I mean about values and value systems, okay? Philadelphia Eagles defensive end Brandon Graham, at the beginning of 2021, turned age 30. They signed him to a $40 million 3-year contract. While in that exact same city, catcher JT Realmuto signed a $115.5 million contract for 6 years. Now, because of COVID-19 and baseball's geography, Buffalo Blue Jay George Springer, at age 31, signed a very lucrative contract for 6 years. Not just for his skills at center field, but for his experience being a 2-time World Series champ and what that would offer, not just on the field, but in the dugout as far as experience and leadership. Cole Beasley, in that same city, signed a $29 million contract that would last him 4 years. Now, where a man ends up in life, many times is a result of the decisions that he made in his younger days. Even despite being in the same city, and even despite being professional athletes, Beasley and Graham are in no position to tell Springer or Realmuto how much they are worth. Why? Because they're out of their league. So why would intelligent, sophisticated, educated, and accomplished Black women be asking for the opinions of men who are not even in their league about their worth? Now, what would make one group of men choose a sport that didn't have a lot of longevity, that didn't have a lot of global options, and that only was 18 weeks long, versus another group of men who would choose a sport that had longevity, that valued players over the age of 30, and that valued a global sport? Those decisions, a lot of times, were made in their youth. No one is denying that there are many paths to success. So, as a Black woman, while you were in college, were your counterparts getting involved in skilled trades? Were they starting their own businesses? Were they entering the workforce and moving their way up so that they're able to have an accomplished goal? What were they doing while you were studying? Unfortunately, a lot of times, it's a whole lot of nothing, or things that amount to a whole lot of nothing. Now, a lot of these unproductive men will sometimes tout the virtues of poverty. Virtue of poverty, I would mean by like the Jeffersons, George and Wheezy. They started out maybe not having a lot, maybe being in poverty, being lowly workers to being successful business owners, and then they moved on up, right? Moved on up to the east side to a deluxe apartment in the sky, together having that virtue of maybe starting from a low place together, but then building as a couple into wealth, into prosperity. That's what I mean by a virtue of poverty, like George and Wheezy Jefferson. So as far as some of the more religious content creators who have been collaborating with some of the Black women-centered spaces, I think of OGL Rancho and David West in particularly, right? They kind of, because of their religious views, they do have a value system of like a virtue of poverty. Like there's virtue in poverty. Are they offering you the virtue of marriage and fidelity? Do they see you as a blessing? Are they respectful of their purity and your purity? Are they willing to take dominion over the earth and looking for a helpmeet? Or are they just looking for somebody to co-sign on their mediocrity and to make them feel better and subsidize their failures? Listen, Proverbs 10 men don't get Proverbs 31 women. So if you're going to be lazy, complaining, foolish, and obstinate, you're going to reap what it is you sow. Now, Black women, if you choose to eliminate men with poor value systems and who are unaccomplished, that's up to you. If they're angry about being eliminated for what it is they don't earn, or what it is they haven't done, or values that they don't have, perhaps when they were younger, they should have chose better.